Hi everybody, here we are at The Magic's Yours, live again on Facebook Friday. We were planning to come to you live from El Rodeo in Hanover this evening, but we had a little bit of a glitch. Apparently one of their servers was out sick and the restaurant is hopping tonight. So rather than take up space on a table there and kind of otherwise be in the way, we decided to opt for Plan B, and we've set up a little recording studio here, makeshift. So we're gonna check this
on the spare of the moment.
Yeah, we're gonna check this arrangement out and see how it goes, and this might become a more permanent location for, or occasional location, I should say. So let's talk about who we are again real quick in case you forgot. So we'll start with Amy.
Hello, I'm Amy.
I'm Holly.
And my name's Jeff with the Magic Yours Travel, and this is week 3. So thanks for being with us this evening. 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, we're starting a tradition here.
Right.
Tonight we're going to be talking about...
We're going to talk about Coronado Springs, and we're going to be a couple of news update items from around Disney properties this week. And then, of course, we'll end with our little fun fact. So let's kick it off with the news, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
We should have news music.
we should. We need to.
We're the early news at 8.
Yeah, we are early news at 8. We'll work on the music. That's a good idea, Amy. We'll give a little background.
We'll let you sing. We'll let it go.
Jeff's not singing. So there wasn't actually a lot of Disney news this week, believe it or not. Most weeks there's all kinds of colorful things going on. But just a couple of highlights. Main Street Electrical Parade left Walt Disney World last fall, and it has now officially moved to Disneyland Park. Last night was the preview night in the park, and tonight starts its very first night on its new regular run. And I believe the folks in Disneyland are fairly excited about this. It's been on a 20-year hiatus there while we've had it in Florida. So while we're sorry to see it go, they're getting a classic gem. In addition to that, I have heard the rumor circulate again just yesterday that Paint the Night may in fact be coming to Walt Disney World. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at the Paint the Night videos on YouTube, or you haven't seen it in person, it is a beautiful parade, just fantastic nighttime spectacular. So I was really excited to hear that news, and I think if you're fortunate enough for that rumor to be true, and you get to see it the next time you go to Walt Disney World, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised as well.
It'd be a win-win situation. If we have to give something up, we're getting something
right, because
probably
right now
equally, and I think in your opinion, better or more advanced, because you really do love it.
It's definitely more contemporary. Main Street Electrical's got that classic vibe, and it's a really cool parade. But it's definitely Paint the Night once you've seen it, and I think it's an okay swap. So if Amanda's watching, she probably disagrees with me. Anyway, a couple more items that we have going on. Amy mentioned on our first week about Rock the Dots promotion. Can you remind us a little bit about what you know about that? There's been some merchandise at Kohl's?
Yes,
with
Kohl's does. They have had a whole selection of, even in women's sizes, mini Rock the Dots. So they incorporate dots sometimes very boldly, and sometimes just sneak them in there a little bit. And so if you are rocking the dots, you get a discount on certain days in certain stores.
Oh, at Kohl's?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I was gonna say, can I get?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
This is where you can get the clothes, but when you go to
I'm all about some Kohl's cash.
If you happen to be fortunate enough to be at Disney Springs this Sunday, there is a polka dot discount if you are participating in rocking Minnie's dots. So great place to be this weekend if you love polka dots. Let's see. Other kind of important news item, not Disney specifically, but Universal, the Express Pass, which allows you to jump to the front of the line on rides. At Universal, Express Pass is a paid option versus Disney World, where Fast Pass is a free option. The Express Pass at Universal is now going to a photo validation. So your photo that you have taken when you purchase your Express Pass will have to match the photo when you scan your Express Pass. So just something to be aware of if you're thinking about a Universal trip and you were thinking about trying to save money by sharing an Express Pass with someone. It's not going to work anymore.
And also bear in mind with their Express Pass, unlike a Park Pass or the Flex Pass that lets you enjoy some of the other amusements in the area, SeaWorld and Aquatica, Discovery Cove, different things. But you have to let Universal know what day you want your express pass for, which makes sense because if everyone had an express pass, then it wouldn't be an express pass. It would be everybody still
Right.
waiting in line. They only sell so many express passes per day. And so however many that is, they got it monitored. So when you're going down, you have to pick and choose the day that you want your express passes for.
And of course, some of the resorts have a complimentary express pass included when you're staying on Universal property, and some do not. So you can choose to buy an a la carte express pass in those situations, or just go without it and hope that you picked a low crowd day.
Yeah, and it'll be your elevated stays, as with anything else.
Right. Let's see. Just a quick mention on Festival of the Arts.
Hello, Ashley. How are you? Sorry,
Hi,
lady.
Ashley.
Yeah, just someone signing in with us, and we just wanted to recognize them.
Festival of the Arts, actually, we will have several team members who will be in and out of Disney during Festival of the Arts, so you should be seeing quite a bit of video coming back, actually live from the festival. However, just to give you a heads up a while, because we aren't there tonight, obviously. Some of the things that I've read about the festival this week that look particularly awesome are the living statues that are going to be appearing periodically throughout the day. I know, right? I just saw that this morning. The very first person I saw reported on it.
Are they going to do like the mannequin type live?
Yeah, and they're like
Because
all gold leaf painted, and they
In
just
2003,
It
they
appears.
actually had that in Italy and Epcot,
Oh, cool.
and I fell for it. I was standing there, and people were looking at me and started laughing, and I'm like, okay, I thought maybe they
Right.
saw the same thing the family sees when they look at me, because they laugh. But anyways, yeah, it was a job well done, because once they would move and you turned around and then you seen them catching other people, then
Right.
they became the joke instead of you.
Right.
But I thought that was very interesting. But if they're going to have those down there, I would like to. I'd be looking
I'm pretty
forward to the
excited
videos.
about it. And apparently they're kind of a pop-up thing, so we're going to have to really work hard to catch them, but it sounds like a really cool thing.
Yeah, I
that they're
think on the
gonna have.
time allotted, you're probably going to have to keep on a roll.
We're going to have to be moving for sure, because we're literally, Ben and I are going down Sunday night. Is it next Sunday already? It might be next Sunday. And coming back Monday night. So.
Did you want me to ask somebody that's actually going?
It's the 29th and 30th, but I don't know what day it is today.
It's the
That's
29th
problem.
next weekend.
It's next weekend. Okay, so next weekend we're going down Sunday. We'll be bringing you a review, not necessarily live because I do need to eat dinner, but we'll be bringing you a review of Kona Cafe at the Polynesian, and hopefully a Wishes fireworks cruise. We're a little iffy on that. I've got to get that booked. And then Monday we'll be going to Epcot, where I'm going to do the Animation 101 seminar that's offered that morning. And otherwise, we're just going to eat our way around the fancy food world and look for the statues and check out the paintings. They have the classic paintings that you can jump into and, do funny poses inside the classics. So that sounds really exciting. I'm super excited to see that. Am I saying
So
the word
maybe
excited
we can
a
do
lot?
a food comparison of what you are able to
Yeah.
participate or
We
have.
won't be able to catch them all, so we're going to
Not
have to
all of
count
them,
on
but
you
you'd
to
be
get
able to do a good comparison for the culinary differences between
right.
the food and wine festival that we were
Right,
down for.
and the Flower and Garden,
And the Flower and Garden.
the Arts Festival. Yeah, so we're gonna still be short the Christmas Festival. We haven't made it for that one yet, but we're working on it. We're working on it for you.
Yeah, we go to Disney because it's
for
work.
you. That's
We
right.
do it, everything we do for you.
It's hard. We have to cram a lot in. You got to be. There's no relaxation.
Unless
let's
you get a
see.
rum and coke on the way down.
Another thing I saw today, guys. I can't even tell you. I'm so super excited about. Animation Academy is back for a limited time only at the Festival of the Arts. And if you've never done Animation Academy, it's the thing they do on the cruise ship where they teach you how to draw a character that they used to do in Hollywood Studios where they teach you how to draw a character. And it's at Epcot for the Festival of the Arts. I'm so excited.
I still have people
We'll be at
ask
one of
me
those
for
too.
that. People that have been down, and it's been a few years
Yeah.
since they've been there, they wanted their children
Oh, they're so
to
much
be
fun.
able to participate in it, and it
Right.
wasn't available.
Art of Animation has a sign up. I didn't
do it.
try. Have you done it there?
No.
Okay, I didn't know if it was exactly the same or not, but they do have
There's
a sign up that they
yeah.
offer like 3 times a day.
Yes.
So that's another option if you're going to Disney World and you can't make it to Festival of the Arts. Stay at Art of Animation or visit Art of Animation. I
Do you
don't
think
they
it's
check your
more in
room
depth
card.
at the Art of Animation?
I don't know if they
Or
actually.
if it's more child oriented, or.
I'm not really sure. That's why I don't know if it's the same experience.
All right,
but
I'll
it's
find
something.
out when I go down.
You're gonna
in
check it out?
I'll go down in
Okay.
February just so I can go there.
Okay. Because it's free.
I need to answer that question.
So that's all for the news. So we can move on to Coronado, and
Coronado Springs.
I'm gonna shirk the responsibility here and let you guys take.
You want me to jump on it?
Yeah, go for it.
Coronado Springs. Okay, there's 5 moderates counting the wilderness cabins. It's actually the only moderate resort that has the conference center there. Because it has the conference center, it also has a health club. It has a beauty salon. It comes with one of the largest outdoor jacuzzis, and I believe you said the length of the pool, the slide.
No, that they have 4 total swimming pools at the resort, 3 leisure pools, 1 extremely large pool. Exactly, it is 10,800 square feet of a pool, and with the pool, they call it the dig area.
Is that the Mayan ruins
Yes.
pool? So
The
it's
Mayan
is
ruin.
the largest pool.
Yes,
Okay.
and they have a 123-foot long water slide. And if my mom is watching, she will appreciate that. She enjoys a good water slide.
And the Mayan pool is actually an archaeological dig site, or
Yes.
themed after, and the pyramid is 5 stories tall. I
And
think.
and with the dig site, there's also a huge, from what I understand, sandbox. So it's also
I believe
Right there.
there's beach volleyball.
Beach
Yes.
volleyball,
Is it-
yeah, it's one of the activities that you have
Yes.
outdoor.
We just stopped at the feature pool briefly when we stayed at Coronado, so I don't, and it's been a while, so I don't remember that area very well, but I remember there being a volleyball net.
so it sounds like it could be a fun little water park within a resort. So I'd definitely be interested.
Sounds
in
cool.
that.
Amy's going. She's ready to go.
Sign me
And
up.
since we mentioned the health club, there's actually, and there's a lot of people that want to know where they can go
Yeah.
and be able to exercise just because they're on vacation, if they're on a behavioral change or whatever. There's the jogging trail, walking and resting trail for me.
Walking/jogging.
Is 3/4 of a mile around the lake there at Coronado Springs, and then they also have a 1 mile nature trail that takes you more behind the buildings. So you
And
can,
for places that you can run on Disney property, that is one of the most beautiful and picturesque places to do a
Mhm.
run. I think it is a concrete path though, so if you're avoiding concrete, that's not going to be your best bet. But if you don't have an issue with concrete, it's a really gorgeous setting.
And then they also have bike rentals as well. Regular 2-wheeled bikes, and they also have 2- and 4-person bikes as well that you can rent.
they
And
had
boat,
boat rentals,
yeah.
yeah, but it's one of the least used activities of any of their resorts because Port Orleans Riverside has their boat and bike rentals, and then of course you can get them at the deluxes
Right.
along the monorail site.
I think
Or
at the
monorail
deluxes
river.
they're used more frequently, but
Yeah.
at the smaller
But for
waterways.
Coronado Springs, it hasn't taken off, and it's sort of not sitting stagnant, but it's not as well used as the other ones.
Right.
Well,
Oops,
while we're
sorry,
talking about
moving something.
activities, they also have a campfire at Coronado Springs, and they have outdoor movies as well.
Which a lot of the resorts are
Yes,
doing. now.
they
Right.
do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Art of
Can we get
Animation
s'more
has them.
packages for $5? Make some s'mores.
Do they have the s'more packages there, or do they just give you the marshmallows?
I'll find out when I go down. I got to go down
Okay.
and answer that question.
Yeah, go check it out. Definitely find out what's going on there.
And the Coronado Springs is actually an American colonial southwestern American style resort. In case you didn't know by the pyramid and the archaeological dig, that along with many of the resorts down there, I believe Disney Vacation Experience is an educational experience for children of all ages. And I've learned something about the America, the different states, the different sections, the regions from each resort, and even other countries. You know, so if you're worried about children missing some school, just tell the school that your child's going on an multicultural educational
That's right.
experience.
Walt used to call it edutainment.
Edutainment. That's what I need, some edutainment.
Do we have any more facts about the resort? Do you want to talk about general check-in, check-out?
Yeah, basically with
Procedures
most of the resorts, it's 11 a.m. Check out, a 3 p.m. check in. But more and more with the magic bands and registering and checking in online prior to even arriving on property, you can choose the communication that you want. I would do a text. I'm easier with that. And they can
That's
text you.
really
You could be on a Magical Express on your way to the resort and get a text saying that your room number is ready, and it gives you the room number, and you can bypass the check-in as long as you left a major credit card on file for incidentals. So I think that's a great thing. So the 11 a.m. Checkout, that's probably not going to change. You can request a later checkout. I would do it as soon as you arrive if there's a reason why you want to check out later. Along
And they
with
may
any,
or may not. I mean, it
yeah,
just
with
depends
any
on-
request at Disney, you can ask, and nothing is guaranteed, but they do a job well done of the request that's made.
and they do
And
have-
we do a job well done at making sure that your requests are given to Disney, and then we do follow-ups prior to taking off for your experience to make sure whether it be a certain area that you want to stay in or whether it be, wish we could do private character meet and
That
greets.
would be amazing.
Yeah,
We'll work on that.
We'd be rich if we could do that.
With the, oh gosh, I totally lost it. I had a thought in what you were saying, and it's gone.
About Coronado Springs,
No, it was about check-in, check-out times, magic bands.
magic bands.
No, I lost it. It's fine. We'll come back to it later. Yeah, when my brain clicks back.
We can talk about dining at Coronado Springs.
Do you want to talk about dining, and I'll run up and grab a magic band, a new one. I got a new one this week.
You got the new one?
All right. Amy's gonna talk to you about dining. I'll be right back.
Coronado Springs, they have table service and quick service since they are moderate resorts. Typically at your value resorts you have just quick service options, where at moderate and deluxe levels you start to see table service. Coronado Springs has Maya Grill, which is an upscale table service, and I believe certain entrees that you choose will take to table service.
Is the Maya Grill Signature
Points.
Series done?
I'm pretty sure no.
And the other table service is Las Ventanas, if I'm saying it properly. And they do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Maya Grill only
Hey.
does breakfast and dinner. And then they have quick service. They have the Pepper Market, and they also have a poolside bar and a lounge area as well, where you can get late night snacks and specialty drinks and all those types of goodies.
On dining, I will. Excuse me.
Russia.
I will say that it was one of the places where we had some difficulty, and one of the things that I would have said as a downside of this resort was the quick service dining. If you visited the resort prior to 2013, you would have had the old quick service dining style. It was a very crowded area, and there was a lot of confusion. There wasn't a good flow of traffic through that area. Las Ventanas is the refurb version of that quick service experience. I understand it has helped tremendously to alleviate that problem. So if you stayed at Coronado previously and you had that same issue and same experience, you might want to consider giving it a try again, because it sounds like that issue has been largely resolved.
Are you still on dining?
No, go ahead.
Coronado Springs is, and a lot of resorts at Disney are large resorts. One of the ways to get around that is to choose a preferred room. I found, and it's pretty much not a secret, but it's not well known, is the Coconino Lounge, which is the only moderate resort, I guess, because of the convention center and everything else that they're offering, because of the number of adults that are there, is an executive type business class room or building that offers a step down version of the concierge level service that you would get at the deluxe resorts, which offers a little bit more than a continental breakfast, but you're not going to get your meat and potatoes. Then they switch over. That's from like 7 to 10. Then they do from like 11 until 2. You can get like different flavored tortilla chips and dips. Along with that comes your Chardonnay, your Merlot, imported domestic beers, juices, teas for the kids. And in the evening you get your cheese trays, maybe cheese and meat trays, olive tray, and then again with all your beverages. And one of the things that I really, really like about it is because for not much more than what you would get for a preferred room, you're going to get the preferred room because the business class Coconino Lounge is right next to the main building, and you're also going to get for just another, I'd say, on the average $150. You're going to be able to have something when you leave, something when you come home, and during the middle of the day, if you want to come back and take a break and have a couple cold ones, let the kids play in the pool. They do have a lot of children's activities at the pools too. They have Disney trivia, pool parties during the day. And in the mornings you can actually kind of open the main pool because at the Mayan Pyramid, when the water is released, when the pool opens, it comes gushing down. I don't know what part the children play in that because I've been in the parks by then. But
Hopefully not the drenching part.
well, the people say, my child, my child was involved with it. I'm like,
yeah. Well, maybe they get to like pull the lever to release it or something. Or
can I just keep this?
no, that's mine.
It's blue.
Ben's.
Ben's got pink.
Yeah, he wanted the pink one. Yeah.
God bless him. He's a man.
Do we have any? What other things do we want to talk about the Coronado?
It was refurbished in 2009. It's considered one of the nicer furbished moderates that they have, and they have. Which many of the resorts went to queen beds, and then they also offer the king bed. But if you're not going to do the Coconino, I would suggest a preferred room, as it is a large resort, depending on your family's demographics too.
Which would be in the casitas section.
In the casitas.
Right. The other
Building 1, 2,
sections,
and 3.
right. The other sections of the resort are the is it the ranchos or the rancheros?
Rancheros.
Rancheros. Okay. That's the section that's the closest to the pool. So if you think you're going to do a lot of pool activities, some people do like to choose that to Rancheros section also. However, it is directly opposite the lake from the Al Centro building, which is the building that has the check-in and the food and the shop and all of the everything that you'll need during your stay at the resort.
They can just put me on a recliner and I'll be
Over
good.
the lake. So basically you're looking at about a 3/4 of a mile walk to get to and from that Al Centro building, unless you're taking the bus, which does stop internally. So you can hop the bus if you want to get from section to section. That's not a big deal. And then the last section is the Cabanas section. That's actually my favorite. And I know you're casitas. And Amy, probably with Olivia, you would be rancheros, right? Well, I mean, somebody's got to stand up for the Port Cabanas. That's the section we stayed in. Honestly, I thought it was very peaceful over there. In the casitas,
It's quiet.
in the casitas section, you do get a lot of the business traffic because you get because it is a convention hotel. It is a place where if large groups of business folks are coming in, they would probably opt to stay in that section. So over at the Cabanas, it does tend to be a little bit more subdued, a little more calm. So we liked it over there, and it was still close to El Centro, so you're still convenient to get to the building, to get to, if you want to eat or buy something, it's all very accessible.
And a few of our clients have mentioned about being that it is a convention center, there's going to be a larger number of adults instead of families.
There may be at times.
And they were worried about like the personalities of the adults being around children and stuff like that. But the people that are down there are, not that being a professional makes you one or the other, but they've never had an instance where they felt uncomfortable with having, 3/4 of the resort being adults or whatever, and then 1/4 being family or whatever the percentage is. They've all said it was wonderful. In fact, they liked it better because they said that for their children, the things that the families did together, they weren't as robust or as busy.
As crowded.
Crowded because the adults were doing the convention and they usually do their parks in the evenings.
Right.
Or going out and,
spending
their business credit cards to eat and drink.
The only thing that it does do, I think the bus service there is, it feels like it runs slightly less frequently than the other resorts because they aren't transporting as high a percentage of their guests to and from the park during the day. So we noticed a lot of lag in the bus transportation when we stayed there. Now, granted, our stay there was 4 years ago, and it was one time for 8 nights. So in that particular span, I'm giving you a review based on 4-year-old information of a week. So it may have changed since then. We may have hit a bad week. It may, there are all kinds of factors that could come into that. So I don't think that's any reason not to book there. It's an observation that has been repeated by other guests. So.
How many bus stops do they have
They have 4. They have one at El Centro, one at Casitas, one Rancheros, and one Cabanas.
And that brings up transportation, so I would like to mention that we can, and you can, and Disney permits us to put rental vehicles onto your Disney vacation. I like it because, well, actually, they've priced out a little less than what I could get individually from the rental companies, and you can put, and so it's under Disney's umbrella. Disney does a job well done on everything that they touch, I believe. So the car rentals, and if you're going to maybe do we were talking about Universal earlier, if you were going to do a Universal thing, or if you wanted to not worry about the buses and you wanted to go and come when you would like to, your parking, I think, is up to $18 a day. You wouldn't have to worry about that because you'll have your pass in the window from your resort. But just because you have a car rental doesn't mean that you still won't have some time involved, because when you get to the park, you're going to be parking in the public parking,
Right.
and you would have to get on the little tram or whatever, and
Or walk.
take your cell phone, take a picture of the area you're in. Don't get like me, go in the park, you're all excited, and at the end of the day, you come back and you got to wait there 4 hours until there's only one car left in the lot. So that would, so you know which one's yours.
Did you guys ever see that Simpsons episode with the itchy and scratchy lot? And they got out of the car and they're like, "Remember, kids, we're in the itchy lot." And they come back out and there's only 2 lots, and there are like 1 billion cars. It would be like that, for real. Not even kidding. Take a picture of your spot.
I do.
So what else what other wonderful things do we have to say about Coronado? We're good?
Man, we covered the restaurants,
Did we
we
miss
covered the
anything?
rooms, the large size.
Let us know in the
pool,
comments if
children's
there's anything
activities.
else you want to know about Coronado Springs, and we'll be happy to weigh in with an opinion or look up whatever the detail is that you'd like to know. So, we're happy to do that. That's what we do. So,
Leah Lewis said, just a note, we found Coronado great
Hi,
with
Leah.
a rental car, but you
yes,
covered that.
Yes, yep. So, the Magic Bands, new Magic Bands. This is the old style, of course, with the straight edges, and they had made them a little bit thinner. The original Magic Bands that came out, they were a little bit bulky and just a smidge. Yeah, if you want to put a close up on them, Sherry, that'd be great. But shout out to Sherry, she's running the controls for us tonight. And the new Magic Band is slightly wider than the old one, except for the band part. The actual band section is pretty much the same. And it is, we were hearing about it was going to have a pop-out feature so that you could pop this RFID chip out and put it either on your keychain or on some other sort of Disney jewelry that I'm sure that there will be merchandising for. And, however, there are 2 screws in the back. So this is not something that's going to fall out of the band. It's not something you can pop out and change willy-nilly. You do need to take a little eyeglass screwdriver with you if you're going to want to change these out. And I'm sure cast members are going to be carrying them in their pockets. So
I
old versus
honestly
new.
think that it would be a liability for myself, because if you take that out of there,
Yeah, I don't
and
want to
you
lose
lo-
it.
you lose that-
I like the band,
because
honestly. I'm
the
keeping the band.
Magic Bands are your park pass. They are
Right.
your if you have a credit card on file, you can use them to charge. You can they're your
Magic
meal
Bands are
plan.
amazing.
They're your meal plan. They're your room key. I put that thing on. It's waterproof. I know where it's at, and I'm not taking it off until I get back on my plane.
And they
because-
truly are waterproof. You can shower with them, you can swim with them. Do not worry. Like, do you know that thing where you go to the pool and you put all your stuff in the locker, and then you're dealing with this key. What do you do with the key? You tie it on your ankle? I mean, how do you, and then you have to swim with the key. I mean, it weighs you down. You could drown. It's not good. So, with having your room key on your Magic Band, and you can wear it, and it's plastic, and it's great. It's fantastic. I can't say enough about it.
Yes,
I love Magic Bands. We got these in the mail on Tuesday, I think, and I wore mine around the house all night.
I think you're the only one I know that got a 5-pound locker room key.
Yeah. Those things are dangerous. You gotta watch out.
Where are you going to the pool?
Yeah. At the Y. You should see the keys they've got over there.
Heavy
So,
duty.
I guess that's. Are we ready for our wrap up?
Pretty much,
Fun fact.
Yes.
Okay, I know you guys you've been patiently waiting. I'm sure. Like everybody's like tuned in. They're like, "What's the fun fact of the day?" And because you should be. It's pretty exciting. So. Of course, we know today is Inauguration Day, and this is not a political thing. It's the day that's on the calendar. So we don't need to weigh in on that. But since it is Inauguration Day, I thought it would be fun to do some trivia about presidents and Walt Disney World. So I didn't prep Amy and Jeff for this because I want their candid, honest answers. What president do you think has the greatest Walt Disney World, or no, not Walt Disney World, greatest Disney connection?
What president?
What president has the greatest Disney connection?
Well, it can't be Lincoln because
It shouldn't be Lincoln. I mean, he does have a pretty big connection, being in the Hall of Presidents and great moments with Mr.
yeah, sure.
Lincoln.
It can, right, there is a connection there. I thought you meant that someone that's still.
Let's qualify this as not posthumous. Must be a living, well, not necessarily living, but alive during Disney Parks reign.
Johnson.
One vote for Johnson.
I don't know.
One vote for Eisenhower. Wrong. Nixon. Does anybody else? Does anybody else think that's hilarious? Because Richard Nixon was from Yorba Linda, California, which is in Orange County, which is where Disneyland is located. And he happened to be vice president when Disneyland opened. So, of course, being a high-profile public figure, this fabulous new place opened right in the county where he's from. And he had children at the time. He still did, but they were kids.
So when Disney opened the gate, it just wasn't the Watergate.
That was a good one. Okay, so actually, when Disney cut the ribbon on the monorail, the Nixon family was the family that got to cut the ribbon at the monorail, or they were supposed to be. It turned out that the scissors, nobody sharpened them, I guess. They didn't actually work. It didn't cut the ribbon, and Walt Disney ended up tearing the ribbon himself. But when the monorail debuted at Disneyland, the Nixon family was the first to ride in it, and they were on hand for the ceremony to cut the ribbon. In fact, Richard Nixon actually announced his candidacy for president in the Disneyland Hotel, and he later became the only president to date to give a major speech on Walt Disney World property when he gave his checkers speech at the Contemporary Resort. So just a little, Nixon connection there. I thought that was very interesting because we kind of remember Nixon as a society as being kind of a scandalized president and having a lot of, unsavory dealings. And I think it's interesting to know, and it kind of humanizes him to know that he actually really loved Disneyland and then eventually Walt Disney World. And it took his family there frequently. Had a personal relationship with Walt Disney. I just think it's kind of interesting to know that background on him. So there's your Inauguration Day trivia. And
Howard Lewis is excited with the new Magic Bands. And he also stated that Nixon gave his "I am not a crook" line at the Contemporary.
Was it "I am not a crook" or is it he gave the whole checker speech? Is that part of? Howard, which speech is that in? No? Howard's leaving us hanging? I'll get you, Howard.
I think he's still on there.
He probably is. Okay, well...
It was not the checkers speech.
It's not in the checker speech.
Oh,
did I say the wrong speech?
That particular speech was in 1952.
Oh, you're right. You're right, Howard. You got me. Yes, it's the "I am not a crook" speech. I'm sorry. Wrong one.
I've been waiting for somebody. As much as I love you.
They were two different speeches.
They are two different speeches. I know, Howard. I'm sorry. I forgot. I messed it up. Okay. So with that, I guess we're ready to sign off for the evening. And we'll be back next Friday at 8 o'clock. And we hope you will be too.
Time to say goodbye.
I'm not singing,
to all
Jeff.
the company. M-I-C-K-E-Y.
Sure, there should be an end.